Hello, I'm Elizabeth Nancy Jansen, and today is day 14 in 22 Days of Truths. And I hope you're enjoying this series, and it is in preparation for the big launch day, August 17th, for the beautiful love story Bride Doll. And I'm thrilled that this is going to be happening. The book has been a couple of years from the concept of the idea of the love story into the actual production print, when the book will actually be available for your reading pleasure in paperback form from your favorite bookstore or from Amazon or from Chapters Indigo around the world, from your favorite source, whatever that may be in your particular country. So this is just really fabulous for me, thinking from, the little girl from Northern Ontario having this global book. And it's just really precious for me. And I'm so happy that you're coming along for the ride. And today's topic is knowing what you absolutely don't want in a love relationship. And this has come from a very seasoned person in a knowing what I don't want in a love relationship. And that's come from writing this novel, and also from personally traveling a love journey in my own life. And being a love coach, I know what to do in as a love coach, by my own personal experiences, and of course by my training, and also having worked at relationships my whole life long, not only love relationships, but in knowing what works in family relationships, but also in work, very dynamic work relationships as well, in my healthcare professional work life, as well as in friend relationships. Relationships have always been so important to me, and I don't just brush them off easily. And I know what healthy boundaries within all my relationships are. And it's something that I take very seriously. And, knowing what I don't want in a love relationship has taken me down some roads where, I've stepped in a lot of potholes. And so did Naya. And, going back to Monique and Flynn in Bride Doll, Flynn, for example, he was overwhelmed the whole time during what his marriage was in the first few chapters of the book. Now, Naya, in her first relationship with Simon, she was very much in a codependent relationship, and that did not work well for her at all. Now, much did she learn from that relationship? Well, she learned that she was in a lot of pain in that relationship. She did not thrive in that relationship. She learned she was not thriving, but she did learn to have fun between those two. She learned how to have fun, and that was great. That was great during her single time. And then into the second relationship, what did she then bring with her? Well, she didn't really embed in her mind and in her heart. It wasn't clear enough for her to take it to heart what she didn't want in a second relationship. She didn't have that fine-tuned enough, because when she went into that second relationship, I'm going to take it now to myself. When I went into my second love relationship, into my second marriage, we weren't aligned. We weren't totally aligned in that the core values were sort of aligned, but my love partner was not partner enough for me. Not partner enough. You know, no disrespect to him, none, but he didn't have the same life skills that I needed. And he didn't have the ability to do the things that I wanted and needed to do. And I thought I could, silly on my part, you know, I thought he being with me, he'd want to change. He'd want to do those things. I thought I could fix him, you know. I thought, oh, just being with me, I'll magnetize those interests for him, and he'll want to do that. Silly me, he didn't change. No, he didn't. I couldn't fix him the way I wanted him to be. He was totally content being himself. Silly me. Yes, so I couldn't fix him the way I wanted to. No. So that didn't work out so well. So I need to know ahead what I didn't want. You know, I don't want to fix someone or mold someone the way I want them to be for me. No. So know that ahead of time. No, you know, that don't go further. Don't go down that road. So absolutely know what you don't want. And now the marriage that I have, or the partner that I have right now, you can see my face light up even more because he's such a delightful man. And he is the light of my life. And, you know, we laugh at this now because we had so many conversations about what we both knew when we were dating. We'd have conversations about what we don't want, because we both got it. We both knew absolutely what we didn't want. And we stayed in touch with each other. And he told me he had a little card in his wallet so he could stay focused on what he didn't want. Because, you know, if he lost focus or he felt a little worn down, that he might stop his divorce proceedings, and he was really wanting to stay focused, that he absolutely wanted to stay clear, that he wanted to end his marriage because of this, and this. And it made him stay on track. And he never wanted to repeat that in his future life. So he was keeping track of those three things. And he never wanted that to happen again. So we kind of laughed because we absolutely knew, and agreed upon what we didn't want in a future relationship. So knowing what you don't want is really important, because then you can stay focused on what you do want. And, you know, in my present love life, you know, we are in alignment because we both have similars of what we don't want. And, you know, we are totally, you know, matched in what our values are. And we flush that out, and we know how we play that out. So again, in family, what does that mean? So for example, today we're planning holidays for Christmas or for Thanksgiving, and what that looks like for family with his family and my family, and where we're going to go, and when he's going to be with his family by himself. And, you know, it all works out so nicely. And because we're so familiar and comfortable and happy, that it's not a tug of war. It's so loving that we know how I want him to have his time with his family, and we do that, be alone with our families, and we do it together with our families, and it just works so beautifully. And, you know, and then when we can travel, and where we want to go, and how much we love to travel. You know, my previous relationship, my former husband didn't want to go anywhere. It was like pulling teeth, and it was painful to go on a vacation. Oh my God, I certainly don't want that ever again. That's on my do not want list. I do not want a person who doesn't want to travel. I do not want to pull an elephant. Let me repeat that. I do not want to pull an elephant ever again. Not with travel, not with, buying a shirt. My former husband, taking him to buy a shirt, that would take an hour to 2 hours, and then he still couldn't decide. Oh my God, not again. And I don't say that disrespectfully. There is just a thing he had, but it made me crazy. So it's a thing, and it just, and that's okay if he would do it and buy a shirt on his time, but he still needed a shirt at the end of the day, and he would then not get a shirt. Well, you'd still need a shirt. And if I bought the shirt, he wouldn't like the shirt. So it became a problem. So I know what I don't want. And, those things mount up, and it becomes a burden if someone's discontent with your choices. It becomes a mountain of discontent. That's my point. I don't want discontent. I want happy. I want contentment. I want my life to be contentful, buckets of it. And I have that today as a result of knowing what I don't want. So I have a beautiful life today. And, Bride Doll is full of pro tips, wonderful value of learning the life journey of Naya. And the story turns out so beautifully well. And I wouldn't steer you wrong, because it's based on a lot of research. Elizabeth Nancy Jansen would not steer you wrong. And the ending is beautiful, beautiful. So much love. And you can get the ebook now. Take care. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.